Hey, what is going on guys, and welcome back to another Iceborne video. Today I'm bringing you all some Master Rank Longsword sets. As I've said before, these sets are focused around endgame content and as such require materials from endgame monsters and rare decorations. You have been warned. Now let's get started. The first I have for you guys today is one I'm not a huge fan of, but I did use for quite a bit before I got everything else, and just threw out Master Rank. It's a protective polish set, so if you don't mind that playstyle, then this is really strong and I think you'll get a lot of benefit from this build. The weapon we're going to be using is the Acid Scimitar 2, which is the Acidic Glavenus Longsword. This thing has a lot of raw and can reach purple sharpness. It has a level 4 jewel slot and no element. I have mine augmented for health regen and slotted with a sheath handicraft jewel. The helmet I'm using is the Ruinous Helm Beta Plus, which is the Ruiner Nergigante helmet, and I have it slotted with an Expert plus 4 jewel and a critical jewel. The chest is the Rex Roar Male Beta Plus, which is the Brute Tigrex chest piece, or Tigrex, however the hell you want to call it, and I have it slotted with a sheath attack jewel and an attack jewel. The gloves are the Shadai Jvalda Braces Beta Plus, which are the final boss's gloves, and I have mine slotted with a Tenderizer Vitality jewel. The coil is the Odogaron Coil Beta Plus, slotted with a Phoenix Vitality jewel and a Tenderizer jewel. The boots are the Garuga Greaves Beta Plus, slotted with a Sheath Expert jewel, a Sharp jewel, and an Elementless jewel, and the charm is the Handicraft Charm 4. As a whole, this would give you maxed out Critical Eye and Handicraft, level 4 attack boost, maxed out Critical Boost, Weakness Exploit, and Quick Sheath, 2 levels of health boost and maximum might, protective polish, a non-elemental boost, and 1 level of coalescence. Now, I know that a lot of you might be looking at me weird for the level of coalescence, but what coalescence does is give you a set amount of raw, elemental, and status, and this procs whenever you get hit with any kind of status and recover from it. Whenever you get hit by fire, poison, water blight, ice blight, bleed, etc., and in endgame, and just in the game in general, pretty much every single monster has some sort of thing they can afflict you with, and having 1 level alone grants you 12 raw, which is the same as having 4 levels of attack boost or 2 levels of agitator, and this proc lasts quite a long time, so all you have to do is roll out whenever you get set on fire, eat a nullberry or a jerky, and boom, a huge boost of raw. I'll be making a more in-depth video about the skill, so you guys don't look at me crazy, but for now, please just trust me on this. And a huge shout out to Kai Destiny for bringing this skill into my attention. Anyway, like I said, this is a protective polish set with huge raw. It has about 65% raw crit when you have max mic procced, which turns into 95% crit when hitting a weak spot that's not even wounded, which is great because wounding with longsword takes a while, and honestly it feels kind of like a chore. This second set I have for you uses what seems to be a community favorite longsword since Iceborne came out, and that is a Paralysis set using the Viper Kadachi longsword. This is by far the lowest raw out of all the other longswords, but it has pretty decent affinity all by itself, so I focused on getting its raw up as high as I possibly could. I have mine augmented for a health regen and an attack increase and 1 status up. You can augment for attack using tempered Anjanath materials from the Guiding Lands. The mod I have on this is a Nergigante mod, which you can apply by getting all attack increasing mods, and I have it slotted with an attack jewel and a sheath jewel. The helmet, chest, and gloves are from the Kaiser set, which you can get from Master Rank Teostra, and I have them slotted with a sheath handicraft jewel, a critical vitality jewel, 2 attack jewels, and 1 sheath attack jewel and 1 phoenix jewel. The coil is the Odogaron Coil Beta Plus, slotted with a critical vitality jewel and an expert jewel. The boots are the Garuga Greaves Beta Plus, slotted with another critical vitality jewel and 2 tenderizer jewels, and the charm is the Handicraft Charm 4. As a whole, this would give you maxed out Critical Eye and Handicraft, 4 levels of attack boost, maxed out health boost, critical boost, weakness exploit, and quick sheath, 2 levels of latent power, a spare level of heat guard, and our 1 spicy level of coalescence, as well as Master's Touch. Because our crit is so high, 60%, which is also 90% on non-wounded weak points, and well over 100% whenever we proc latent power or hit a wounded weak point, Master's Touch is a no-brainer, so we can keep our purple sharpness for the entire hunt. That plus the occasional paralysis makes this a really strong set. The next set I have for you is also a Master's Touch set, but this one is for Elementless. For this we're going to be using the Radiant Flow, which is the Shadai Jvalda longsword. I have mine augmented for a health regen augment, and slotted with an attack jewel and an expert jewel. The armor is exactly the same, so again we have the helm, chest, and gloves from the Kaiser set, and the only change in decos that I have is an Elementless jewel slotted in the coil, which in terms of skill leaves us with 1 less level of quick sheath, which is unfortunate, but we also get a non-elemental boost in return, so it's pretty worth it. This has slightly less crit and purple sharpness, but because it is elementless, it does the most damage out of all the other sets I'm going to show you here today, save for the exception of the Protective Polish set, but this one feels infinitely more consistent, and I really like this set. The last two sets I have for you guys don't need Handicraft nor Master's Touch at all, and it works for both the Nergigante Longsword and the Gold Rathian Longsword. Both of them are augmented for health regen and status up, and slotted with an attack jewel. The helmet is going to be the Rathalos Helm Beta Plus, which you can get from Master Rank Rathalos materials, and is slotted with a critical Vitality Jewel and another attack jewel. The chest is the Rex Roar Male Beta Plus, slotted with a Phoenix Vitality Jewel and an Expert Jewel. The gloves are the Ruinous Van Braces, which you can get from Ruiner Nergigante, and I have them slotted with a Sheath Expert Jewel and another Sheath Jewel. The coil is the Odogaron Coil, slotted with another Sheath Expert Jewel and a critical jewel, and the boost of the Garuga Greaves Beta Plus, slotted with a critical Vitality Jewel and 2 Tenderizer Jewels, and the charm is the Razor Sharp Charm. As a whole, this would give you maxed out attack boost, critical eye, health boost, critical boost, weakness exploit, and quick sheath, 2 levels of Agitator, Razor Sharp, and 1 level of Coalescence. The white sharpness on these lasts an eternity with Razor Sharp, and the Gold Rathian doesn't even need Handicraft for it to last that long. These two have the added benefit of having Dragon and Elder Seal in the case of Nergi, and Poison in the case of Rathian, both of which are really useful to DPS and have their own benefits in specific fights. I personally really like using the Ruiner Nergigante Longsword because of how cool it looks, but to be honest, I can't pick a favorite between these sets. I think they all have something they're good for. I think they all have like some time and some place where each of them shine individually, and I think everyone has different preferences, so just pick the one that works best for you. Anyway guys, those are my sets for Longsword. I'll be back in a few days with some more build videos, so if you like what you see, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I would like to thank my patrons for their continued support, and if you would like to support me, then consider pledging. A link is always in the description, along with a link to my Discord, so feel free to join us on there. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.